Hello there, it's your boy Kiro coming at you with another Raw and at the same damn time a SmackDown review because I've been busy, okay? But I don't want to miss these shows because especially SmackDown was pretty decent. Triple H does know how to book a go-home show. He really does. The go-home show for Extreme Rules was pretty good and this was no exception. I'm actually kind of hyped for Crown Jewel, which is something that I thought I would never say. Now in the future I might do Kiro Wrestling, which is Raw review, SmackDown review, and if you have a pay-per-view that week, also that review, and then it's just one thing, one huge podcast, and then I just cut out snippets from that and publish it throughout the week. The more I'm creating content for this channel, the more that idea seems good, honestly. So be on the lookout for that, you never know. Anyways, I decided to do the old style, the style I've been doing, because I just really want to talk about SmackDown right now. But before we get to SmackDown, let's quickly talk about Raw. As you can see, Raw started out with Bianca Belair having a match against Nikki Cross, which was as impactful as her debut, which means it was not impactful at all. In fact, I would have completely forgotten it if it wasn't shown in the pictures. Nikki Cross, her superhero gimmick was absolutely terrible, and her older gimmick in NXT was barely okay. So she's now, instead of being absolutely terrible, she's barely okay. I don't remember much from this match. She's never really good inside the ring anyways. As you can see, there's been chaos, and you see Io Sky and Dakota Kai with their tag team titles, which they're not gonna hold for very long. Interesting booking decision. Now we have a match at Crown Jewel for these tag team championships again, which they've lost to Alexa and Asuka at the main event, but we'll get to that. We had Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley had an interview with John Cena, and then he came out and tried to fight with Brock Lesnar. It was nice. Everybody came out, tried to stop him. Triple H even came out, which I thought was a real nice touch. I mean, like, you know, it's something you haven't seen with Vince McMahon for a long time, because it was just too old to do anything physical at that point. And so I thought that was pretty cool. Then Adam Pearce came out, said stuff. I don't even remember what he said, but he got a 5, yeah. Basically, Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar, it's happening. That's all we need to know, and that's good enough for me. Then we had the best match of the night. Honestly, like when I saw this coming up, I was like, oh shit, this is going to be a banger. And it was. And Seth Rollins was basically a babyface here against Austin Theory. If you don't know, Austin Theory is at my top 5 right now currently, as far as my like favorite superstars go, because he's just so damn good. He's good at promo. He's good at everything in ring, his timing, his selling, his execution of the moves. Austin Theory is honestly perfect and definitely a future main eventer. I just don't know why they are adamant about burying this guy. Like, I legit don't know why they're doing this to him. Like, I like the fact that he's been serious, right? He's been more angry, but he still comes out with like the phone and does the selfie thing. Not completely, but still has the phone. Like, if you're gonna do it, do it. If you're not gonna do it, I don't think you need the phone anymore. It, like, really doesn't make sense at this point with how serious and angry he is. But then again, him losing all the time and him being embarrassed all the time, not just losing. Especially when he's Mr. Money in the Bank, that's bad. And he showed up in NXT, right? He might cash in the Money in the Bank for an NXT championship. No, don't do it. Or don't cash it in for Intercontinental Championship either. I think that just, it's like taking a knife and just stabbing the briefcase, stabbing the whole concept. You know, it's absolutely a very destructive thing to do. No, the Money in the Bank holder needs to win a major championship. Otherwise, like, what's the point of money? It's like, imagine someone wins the Royal Rumble and they challenge for the Intercontinental Championship. Like, what? Bro, what are you, Dolph Ziggler? What are you, a jobber? What are you, Braun Strowman? No, like, they gotta let Austin Theory get some victories under his belt at this point. Do something good, memorable. Do something so we can take him more seriously and give him the main title, because God, he deserves it, man. But it's real tough with Roman Reigns being at the top too. So it's really sad, but at the same time interesting, because they are really in like WWE is in a terrible place when it comes to booking. Like, they're in a corner right now. I'm really interested to see how they're going to be able to get out of it, or if they will be able to get out of it at all. Anyways, this match, by the way, was pretty freaking good. I mean, Seth freaking Rollins and Austin Theory obviously tore the house down. I would love to see this match 10 times in a row, and this match can be like a WrestleMania main event one day, like 5 years later maybe. But I also like the fact that Seth Rollins brought back his I forget the color, yellow. I don't know why I forgot yellow, but that hair back, yeah, it's pretty cool. Looks pretty cool. But yeah, it was pretty much a babyface. So is this an official turn, or was it just for this week because he wrestled Austin Theory? It's remains to be seen. We had then another segment where Roman Reigns came out and He really did most of the talking. That's interesting, right? Because Paul Heyman is the mouthpiece for everybody, but the Bloodline is now so good at promos that he really doesn't have to speak. He just lets Paul Heyman speak. He lets Sami Uso speak. He lets Jey Uso speak. And that's pretty freaking remarkable. Yeah, The Miz comes out and gets Superman punched. I mean, you had the whole deal with The Miz, Dexter Lumis trying to go, please get away from me. That's how I feel about that segment, but we'll talk about that more. We had the Judgment Day again, obviously. We had the Damage Control Judgment Day. If you don't have those every single millisecond of Raw, then yeah, it's, I don't know. At least Carl Anderson was in a match. He wrestled, he did the spine buster. That was good. But like, yeah, this is absolutely nothing. This is basically to set up the match for Saudi Arabia. As you can see, the OC is in a bad state. They lost here. They got one over. The Judgment they did over the OC. Whatever. At this point, I'm just waiting for the match. And honestly, the OC doesn't set the world on fire for me, so I'm really interested to see what they're going to be able to do after their match at Saudi Arabia. In the worst case scenario, though, AJ Styles will be in a better position. He'll be able to get more victories. He'll be involved in more storylines. And I think this is overall good for AJ Styles. And, at least there's that. Anyways, then we had JBL come out and cut a beautiful promo. And then he introduced Baron Corbin, who really doesn't have much charisma, who didn't really cut the best of promos. But it was better than the last time. Then R-Truth came out. I mean, I think Vince McMahon booked R-Truth better. I'll be honest. Which is crazy, right? The way R-Truth has been booked for years has been not the greatest. But yeah, it's just I don't know. R-Truth does not entertain me. Then we had this mandatory terrible match. We always have the Halloween matches. We always have the Christmas matches. I still remember that Big Show Alberto Del Rio match with the bowling ball. It was what in the hell is going on? This is one of those matches. Absolute filler. Absolute skippable. I mean, they did this reference. I don't know what this is at all. I guess this is a reference to a television series. I haven't watched it. Maybe it's a movie. I think it's an old movie. If you guys know what this is, feel free to explain to me in the comments. Educate this old man right here to what this was. The match is unremarkable. We had Riddle with the Elias or the Ezekiel cosplay, which was cool. But yeah, other than that, quite unremarkable. I mean, yeah, then we had Mustafa Ali and The Miz. Don't remember much of the in-ring action, but again, the same thing we've been seeing. Dexter Lumis comes out and messes with The Miz, and then obviously The Miz loses, so the Mustafa Ali looks like he's gonna be doing something, definitely, maybe win a championship, or at least being in the contendership for a championship. As he's winning, he's building up his, record. We'll see what happens. I like the new look. I like his new remix with the Deem now. We're getting there with Mustafa Ali. And I saw a Merce video, right? And it was how if CM Punk returned to the WWE, what would happen? And in that video, you made Kofi Kingston and Mustafa Ali face. And I'm not mad at that idea either. Yeah, you can definitely do something with Mustafa Ali. He's not the greatest wrestler of all time, but he's decent on the mic and very good in the ring. So definitely very good mid-carder. I don't know if I can ever see him as a main eventer. Then we had the main event match for the championship pretty much out of nowhere. And just like this match, the result was also pretty much out of nowhere. This was better. This was one of their better matches. I'm talking about these four specifically. Usually their matches bore me to death. They're not good at all. Botch filled. The timing is all off. But this was pretty decent. And then a shocking result with Alexa Bliss and Asuka winning. At this point, we had the same thing happen with Aaliyah and Rodriguez, right? Surprisingly, they won, and then the Damage Control took the titles. Don't repeat the same thing is what I'm trying to say here. At Crown Jewel, I believe Alexa and Asuka will retain, and Crown Jewel may be the end for Damage Control. We'll have to see. I'm seeing Bayley as a champion. She's all good, but Dakota Kai and Io Sky, it's just none of their segments have been really working. None of their matches have been really working. So I'm expecting a breakup or something dramatic to happen at Crown Jewel. I'm also really interested to see how the women will dress. As you know, with each passing year, Saudi Arabia is becoming a bit more open. There's an interesting political situation going on there. But if you remember the older shows, obviously For example, Natalia had to dress up all the way, just her head was uncovered basically. I'm wondering, if the women will be able to dress more like they do, how they do in America. So that's always an interesting thing to see. Simply because it's, unique. They're gonna, if they cannot dress the same way, they're gonna wear something unique. Not saying it's great, but it's unusual at least. And I'm like very, interested in attires, not just women's attires, but attires in general. I just like it. Like I love SummerSlam. I absolutely adore WrestleMania because everybody like comes out with the newest attire. It looks cool, memorable. Some integrate cosplay, like with Seth Rollins. That one time at WrestleMania, he integrated like a White Walker from Game of Thrones. It was freaking cool. I always absolutely dig. So like strange attires, one-off attires, right? Special attires. I'm absolutely a sucker for those. Anyways, yeah, this was Raw. Now let's get to SmackDown. Like overall, Raw was okay. I enjoyed Seth Rollins and the Austin Theory definitely, but like it's 3 hours as always. It's bound to be boring. SmackDown, however, was also a little boring, but overall, I enjoyed it much more than I enjoyed Raw because I don't know, like there was something I liked in every single segment. For example, here Liv Morgan shocked me. Sonya Deville as well. They had basically an Extreme Rules match here, and it was good. Like I'm not saying that this is the second coming of Christ. This is the best thing I've ever seen, but considering the fact that I was really low on Shayna Baszler, Sonya Deville, and Liv Morgan, especially on Liv Morgan. Like, I really didn't want to care about this. Week by week, little by little, I'm like, okay, I don't love this, but I can tolerate this. It's okay. And this was okay too. I, in fact, enjoyed myself somewhat while watching this video. This match, not this video. And now I'm at a state where if I see Liv Morgan on my television screen, my laptop screen, or whatever, I'm like, okay, sure, I'll watch you. But like a week ago, I would go, okay, skip. Oh my God, get this out of my face. But all right, fair enough. Liv Morgan is really trying here. So let's see. Hope she can keep it up. Then we had Ricochet come out. And LA Knight just cut a promo as he was doing his entrance while his music was continuing. I mean, I absolutely adore LA Knight, and I didn't even know he could do a top rope moonsault, but apparently he can. I hoped that they could save that for a special moment, honestly. And like I was real shocked when in WWE 2K22, I was simulating a match and he did like a top rope moonsault, and I was like, okay, have LA Knight ever done that in his entire life? That's what I was saying. Apparently he can. Apparently he can freaking do a moonsault off the top rope. But this is good. I mean, Ricochet in the ring is always fun to watch, right? Always gives us something interesting. And yeah, this match was real solid. Like they just had good chemistry, played off of each other well, good combinations, fluent movements by both of these wrestlers. And then the one thing I didn't like was this finish. I mean, sure, I like the idea that LA Knight wins dirty, but the execution could have been a tiny bit better, and the explanation could have been a tiny bit better. It was almost like if I've never watched wrestling before, right? If this was like my first or I don't know, fifth show, let's say. It was one of my first shows that I've ever watched. I would have thought that there was nothing wrong with what LA Knight just did here, right? Like there was no clear indication that holding the tights were illegal. Holding the rope was illegal, right? Like if you don't already know these rules, then you wouldn't understand completely. I think that could have been more clear. But other than that, I got no qualms with this match. LA Knight, I want to see him win more. I want to see him do more. Can he be the Intercontinental Champion? No. I mean, even the match itself is difficult because LA Knight is a heel, Gunther is a heel, but I do want to see this guy succeed, especially after Roman Reigns goes away, which I'm pretty sure after he loses his title, he's going to go away and he's going to basically become a part-timer, which he already is at this point, right? So we're going to see him even less. And when that happens, LA Knight, I think, can be one of your cornerstones. Easy for me to say, cornerstones, especially because LA Knight is an older guy. So before he gets even older, you can utilize him in a big way. I really think that LA Knight can hold your tag team championships, hold your Intercontinental Championship, hold your WWE Championship. LA Knight can do anything because he's got the look, he's got the wrestling ability, he's got the promo ability. This LA Knight, I mean, like, easy. If I was ever creating a wrestling company, LA Knight would be easily one of my first choices right there. So I'm happy to see him back to being LA Knight. I'm happy to see him just getting victories, and yeah, really excited to see what he's gonna do next. Like every time he's on my screen, my attitude is yes, I want to watch this. Please give me more. We had a disagreement between Jimmy and Jey Uso, or Jey Uso and Sami Uso. You know, Sami said don't go out. They went out. I like this right here. I like this. This is something that we probably wouldn't have seen in the old WWE, but the New Day actually came out and said, yo, we're the longest reigning champions right now, and you're about to break our record, and you think we're just gonna let you do that? You think we're just gonna let you walk all over us? No, brother. You come back from Saudi Arabia somehow as the champions, we're all over your asses. See, I like that. I like that. I mean, it's just like I'm gonna barf at this point. I'm just gonna puke at this point from seeing the New Day versus the Usos. But in this case, like, I can't blame the WWE. It just makes so much sense, and I'm hoping they just bring it all out here. I kind of cannot wait for this match, because this is probably pretty much gonna be their most likely their last match, right? Facing against each other, and definitely easily their biggest match ever. So I'm expecting a juicy story here and a very good match. So I'm not sure about the timing, but if they can do this at like a Royal Rumble or even better at WrestleMania, dude, I'd love that. I'd love that. But let me know down in the comment section below. Can they drag this out to WrestleMania without the Usos breaking the record? If that's the case, we got a perfect storyline here. Regardless, I'm excited to see this match. And we obviously know the Usos are going to win. I mean, they beat the Brawling Brutes before, and even if they didn't, even if this was the first time they ever faced each other, like, it's the Brawling Brutes. You really think they're gonna beat the Usos? Let's continue. A bunch of chaos happened, but you know, I don't think there was anything else worth mentioning. Here, I like this because Ronda Rousey was on our screens and she did not wrestle, and I think she's really good at being a heel. Maybe it's because she's unlikable in real life as well, I'll be honest. But I love this, you know, now she is helping Shayna Baszler become a beast again, like she was back in NXT. And I can easily see this going for like maybe a year. And at the end of the year, Shayna Baszler or Ronda Rousey, they just get in an argument. They fight each other, and then we have a dream match right there. Shayna Baszler versus Ronda Rousey. And yeah, I love everything about this right now. I like it so much that I sat through a Natalya match. And yeah, these two are obviously really good in the ring, and the match was stiff, lots of great striking, and obviously Shayna Baszler won the match by choking out Natalya with an RNC Kirifuda clutch was the name, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, love it. Want to see more of it. Shayna Baszler versus Ronda Rousey is a no-brainer. Glad Triple H saw it as well. I'm not sure they're gonna face off against each other anytime soon, but like, I think this is just Mr. Triple H planting the seeds, basically. And rest in peace, Natalya. Then we had an MVP promo. You know, I brought out 5 guys here. Here are your 5 guys. Yeah, Braun Strowman looking real dominant here. This was a good segment as well. And throughout the night, this was real obvious. Like, the pumping crowd noise was different than what I'm used to. But yeah, they pumped it in for everything. But I prefer that to total silence. So the crowd itself was also good. They mixed it well, honestly. I think the fake reactions and the crowd reactions went well. It was just like a loud ambience, right? So it made every moment feel more hype, even though, you know, in other circumstances, when you look at the moment by itself, it's kind of boring, right? Or it's nothing out of the ordinary. But I think the fake crowd noise with the real crowd noise mixed in together really added something. Like I said, I prefer that 100% to a total silence. But it was interesting. Yeah, it was super loud to a point where it was difficult to hear the commentary at some point. Like, it was real interesting. Some of the decisions made here and the sound mixing, and they're still doing the promos where we're backstage, but you know, you still hear the wrestler's theme song playing, right? Like with Legado del Fantasma or Bray Wyatt again, which he had an interesting segment. But honestly, his segments feel a lot like Dexter Loomis's segment with The Miz and Johnny Gargano. It just feels like it's going nowhere. And by the way, I never talked about the explanation Johnny Gargano gave for Dexter Loomis, but it's like it's a reason that makes sense, but whatever. I feel like it's coming way too late now. If this happened after like week 3, week 4, cool, but at least there's still something to wonder about, which is the whereabouts of Tommaso Ciampa. Like, we still don't know that yet, so maybe something exciting will happen there. But other than that, I'm just done with that storyline, I'll be honest with you. But anyways, there you go. This is one of the greatest reasons why SmackDown rocks. We are at the main event already, right? We don't get the chance to really get bored here. And this match, I've told you already that it could easily be a classic, and it was. It was. Perfect David versus Goliath match. I mean, you couldn't find a better David in Rey Mysterio and a better Goliath in Gunther. This was amazing from the start to the finish. I mean, like, both wrestlers just played their role absolutely to perfection. And I love it. The Intercontinental Championship never meant this much in years. Like, holy hell. One thing I gotta say though, like, this is an easily pay-per-view match. Like, this would be, a crown jewel match easily, and it would steal the show even. Gunther has really been the MVP of SmackDown. Like, I still remember his matches with Shinsuke Nakamura. He's the savior of SmackDown for sure. Like, without him, the show wouldn't be as good. His matches with Sheamus as well. Some people, I don't know how, maybe they're blind, maybe they're stupid, but they call Gunther boring. It's a bold statement. I don't think, actually, I take that back. It's not a bold statement. It's an obvious statement. It's like, I feel like this is not even something that takes courage to say. But if you think Gunther is boring, if you think he sucks, I'll go out and say this. I don't think you know a thing about professional wrestling. Like, not a thing. Walter or Gunther literally defines the term professional wrestler. Easily defines that. And like I said, he showed us why with his matches against Shinsuke Nakamura back in NXT, Ilya Dragunov, Pete Dunne, and in the indie circuit against Jordan Devlin, and against so many other like great names. And he proved us again why he's so good with Rey Mysterio here. Like, this was perfect. Like, I could not take my eyes off of this match. Like, it was great. I winced, right? When I saw a move, like, and I've been watching wrestling for over 10 years. Like, I'm not invested. I rarely get disinvested in any type of match. Like, I didn't want this to be over, man. I want to see Seth Rollins and Austin Theory every week. I want to see Rey Mysterio and Gunther every week, although that might not be so great with Rey Mysterio. But like the way Gunther sold Rey Mysterio towards the end of the match, like, he wasn't like devastatingly hurt physically, but it was like, holy shit, what's going on? He's like breathing heavy. He's like, what is this man doing to me? Like, it was perfect, man. It was perfect. I mean, look at the face shields here. Look at Rey Mysterio being a video game character again. This was good. Like, this is it. Like, this is not like an extremely convoluted match. No, it's simple. You got a big guy and a small guy, and small guy is just doing everything he can to survive. It's a basic premise, right? It's so simple, yet it's because of that, it's so easy to understand and get invested in. I love this match. This is easily my favorite SmackDown match of 2022. Like, it doesn't get better than this. I freaking love it, and I would love to see it more. And I think really, like, years later, we're just gonna look back at this match and think of it as, one of the classics for sure. One of the classics. Like, again, I say this every time I talk about Rey Mysterio, but like, how the hell, bro? Is this guy cheating? Is this guy doing something that we don't know? How is he so good? How has he been so good from the day he was born? Like, Rey Mysterio is absolutely goated. Once in a generation, once in a lifetime. He's insane. Gunther as well. Loved every single second of it, like I said. And I even think they can do better. So I would love to see a second match, another match. But I just, like, when I think about it, overall, Raw is boring to me, but SmackDown is the show, man. SmackDown is the show. It's where Logan Paul shows up. it's where Roman Reigns usually shows up, and we get the bloodline segments. We get them at Raw every now and then too, with, especially with the Usos, and the Roman Reigns is not there. Did I say the Roman Reigns? What doesn't matter. In SmackDown, we got Gunther, we got Sheamus, we got Rey Mysterio now in the last couple of weeks. We got Legado del Fantasma. We're not doing great, but we didn't see today. I'm so happy about it. We didn't see Top Dollar, specifically Top Dollar, not even like this Hit Row. Yeah, like I hate Hit Row, but Top Dollar, man, he might be the worst wrestler I've ever seen. Like, I've never in my entire life disliked a wrestler, right? Like, I might be like, I'm uninterested in this guy. It really doesn't interest me. I really don't want to watch when this guy is on my screen. But like, I actually don't like. I don't know. I actually dislike Top Dollar. Like, oh my god, he's unbearable, and thank God we didn't see him, and hopefully we won't see him ever again. My god, yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, I like Fabian Eichner, now Giovanni Vinci, and Ludwig Kaiser too. They're good wrestlers. They could be they could have a bit more flair though. See, if you called them boring, I would understand. Gunther is not boring, but Ludwig Kaiser and Fabian Eichner, I can understand that. Yeah, the Braun Strowman segment, not always something I like, as you guys know, but this was fun. This was okay. He's straight up, by the way, just stealing Wardlow's gimmick, but what can you do? I wish Wardlow was in the WWE, because he'd be so much better. This was good as well. I love seeing old Shayna Baszler being back. Kneeing Natalya in the face, making her bleed. That's pretty cool. And then we have, the legit bloodline segments happening in this show, so that's always good. It's just like, SmackDown is the show, man. We have LA Knight, which I'm really interested in. I really like him. So I'm really biased against SmackDown, honestly. Ricochet is pretty freaking cool too. He's on SmackDown, so you have that as well. And yeah, when I look at it, man, it's just SmackDown is the show to watch. For now, until the draft. As a matter of fact, I feel like that's going to be the case. But anyways, I finished talking about 2 freaking shows, 5 hours of content in under 30 minutes. That's like a new high for me. That's like a new record for me. That's cool. So in 9 hours, we got Crown Jewel coming up. And when I upload this video and finish up with like the thumbnail and everything, it's going to be probably like 8 hours. So I don't want to keep you guys too much. I'll see you at my Crown Jewel review. Maybe I'll post live reactions. Doubtful, but we'll see. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to me today and giving me your precious, precious time. Yeah, not much else. Please take care of yourselves, and I'll see you on the next one.